Tonight, many, if not most, of the over 151,000 children who attend Montgomery County Public Schools will fan out across the county going trick-or-treating. They'll dress as everything from construction workers to zombies to superheroes. Some will venture to fabled haunted houses throughout the county in search of a special scare: tight, crowded staircases, leaky roofs, failing, noisy ventilation systems, small closets turned into living spaces. Huh. That sounds a lot like a growing number of schools in Montgomery County. As many others have mentioned today we find ourselves roughly in the middle of a decade of tremendous growth. Back in 2006, I stood before county leaders, many of whom are up here today, pleading for capacity in my school cluster. We had old, outdated facilities that could not be retrofitted for the needs of 21st century students. Buildings with HVAC systems beyond their life cycles, needing near constant, costly repair just to keep children warm and dry. And simply no space for learning, or quite frankly, even lunch at an hour that even mildly approaches lunch. We have a shortage of classrooms. We have a lack of sufficient core facilities. Okay, that was 10 years ago. Today, the situation is much more dramatic. Since that time, as we've noted, student population has grown by over 14,000, and we will add as many or more in the next 5 to 7 years. That's roughly 25,000 students over a decade. And as others have said, that is bigger than most of the school systems in the state of Maryland. And yet, until today, we've tried only to compensate for this growth within the CIP process by adding a new elementary or two, working to add a middle school, adding capacity through additions and vital modernizations, all the while trying to keep faltering plant and facilities up and running. And we constantly postpone and delay due to inadequate funding. So it hasn't been enough. It hasn't been fast enough, and it's not enough for our kids in our schools. We can no longer choose between equally urgent projects, because those projects aren't just about space. They're about children. They're about over 151,000 kids who have one shot at education, an education that is our obligation and the state of Maryland's obligation to provide. The proposal announced today by the county executive in conjunction with all our county and state leaders holds the potential to move from doing only what can be fit into a bottom line figure to working to fund a solution that will enable all vital construction and maintenance projects to move forward and to move forward now. On behalf of the nearly 50,000 members of Montgomery County PTA, I urge all to work together to find the dollars to create and maintain the learning spaces needed now to enable our children to dream big, to imagine and to realize their potential, so that tonight's Halloween costume scientists and inventors, teachers, superstars, and explorers will, through the education we provide them, become those dreams. So if you, our elected leaders, can find the path to fund and build for them, we and our children will see you as superheroes, whether or not you're actually wearing a cape tonight. Thank you, and happy Halloween.
Thank you.